Okay, so good morning. I know that at least 3 people are getting the recording today. So hello to Holly, hello to Heidi, and hello to Marie. So thanks for joining us, everybody that's live and everybody on the recording. So today, on this rainy, humid day in St. Louis, we are going to be working with a witness. I've been working with this card all week, and I can't remember if we had it last week in this class. If we did, then it will be a review, but it's a really good card, so it'll be a good review. So yes, so this was from the Mystical Shaman deck. So let's begin on our belly. See, I have a blanket on my mat. If you want to have a blanket or a pillow, then you would put it right at where your hips and your legs meet, kind of on your groin there. If you're using one, you don't have to use one. You can put your head down, you can turn your head to one side. Just make yourself comfortable and begin to just relax. Let your shoulders roll down into the earth. Take some deep breaths so that when you inhale, your belly is pressing into the earth. And when you exhale, it's just letting the belly is just letting go, giving into gravity. And let your heels fall out to the side. The front of your heart, relaxing into the rib cage, into the earth. If you hear Maisie, she's chewing on a bone. She does that when we do the meditation group too. Something about me getting online, she starts chewing on a bone. So it's kind of like a nice grounding sound, the bones of the earth. And just observe, witness yourself on your belly, on the ground, breathing. Inhaling in the prana, the life force, and exhaling whatever you don't need, whatever you don't want to bring into this next hour, let it go. So the witness says, the witness observes without engaging in any action. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, then we are able to truly hear them and give better advice. Sometimes we can be so still, we are a mirror for the other. Then through our presence, they receive their own answers. So that pretty much for me describes the process of yoga. Becoming a still witness, even when you're moving, being that still witness. So just take 3 more breaths. If you have any other intentions that you would like to make for this practice, perhaps becoming a still mirror for yourself. Showing yourself what you need to know today. And then put your palms down right beside your shoulders. Push on back. Let's go back to child's pose. Just make it a nice, comfortable child's pose, except for extending your arms overhead. Maybe even your elbows pick up from the ground. You can come up onto your fingertips. And then press your sit bones back so that you're lengthening both sides of the body. And then walk over to one side and really press down that opposite sit bone. Let your breath travel into the space, creating more space between the rib cage and the hips, between the ribs. Wherever you want to send the breath to make space. It could be in your brain, in your mind. And then walk your hands over to the other side. Ground that opposite sit bone down. And breathe. Then come on back to the center. Come on up to your hands and knees, and let's start some circles with the hips. Then go around the other way. I don't know if you saw my email. We got a new router and a new modem, so hopefully it will hold the connection for the whole class. Oh my gosh, that was a trip. Okay, and then let's just come to a pause after you have balanced out the circles, and then begin to just move your back in a cat tilt and a dog tilt. Exhaling all the way into the cat tilt, really letting your head release on the cat tilt. Then let the heart move first as you come into the dog tilt, and then lift your head. Exhaling all the breath in the cat tilt, and taking a little pause before you start the dog tilt. And then just pause again in the center, right at a nice table pose. And then let's extend the right foot back. Keep the toes on the ground for a moment. Just do a little bit of press with that foot. So you press into the heel and then you press away from the heel so that the toes press back and then they press forward. And then pick up that leg and cross it over to the other side, put it down on the ground, and then let that side body open again, just like we did in the child's pose. And then bring that leg up, lift it up to hip height, and then let's bend the knee and bring it in towards the chest, and you press through the heel, press it back. Bend the knee again, and press it back. And then keep it up there. And then let's bring that foot forward to the front of the mat. We'll be in a bent knee lunge, and keep moving that foot forward so that the ankle and the knee line up. And then let your hips drop a little bit more into that lunge. Lift your heart, begin to find your balance. And let's let the arms lift. Ground the shoulder blades down. And then exhale the arms back down. Pick up those front toes and let's move a little bit from the lunge to the forward bend. Really focusing, keep your focus on the hips as you move. Seeing if you can find a little bit different feeling area, a little deeper. Not saying to push it really hard, but just see if you can, just as you move through it, where are the deeper spots that need some attention? And then let's pause in the forward bend, picking up the toes, aligning the hips. And then put that foot back down and let's pick up the right arm, put it on top of the right leg, and then just turn towards the right. And then you can circle that arm up and around if you want. Lots of variations. You can pick up the back foot if you're ready for that. And then circle that top arm to the inside of the right foot. Move that foot over a little bit, perhaps turn the toes out just a tad. And then we'll just bend and straighten the elbows a couple times just to begin to feel into those hips a little bit more. Just witnessing what's happening. And then if you want to pause, you can pause. You can put your forearms on the ground on a block. Then go ahead and bring it back up, come to the palms. If you went away from the palms, tuck under the back toes and pick up that knee. Take that front foot back. You'll be in plank. You can stay in plank. You can put your knees down and move through vinyasa. You can go back to down dog. Whatever your body wants to do. A child's pose is great here too. Always. Child's pose is always great. And then coming back down to the hands and knees and just beginning that very, very mindful movement of the back, witnessing yourself moving through cat and dog tilt. Then let's hold the cat tilt. Let your head just really let go, the top of the head towards the floor, and then just push your hips towards the right. So you're getting another opening on that right side of the body. And then slowly come back and push your hips a little bit towards the left. And then back, center. And then let's let the left foot go back and the toes on the ground. We just begin by pushing into the heel and away from the heel, forward and backward. And then let's lift the leg up, take it over to the other side and put the toes back down, and then emphasize that banana curl on the left side. Breathe into those spaces. And then bring that leg back to the center, but lift it up to hip height. And then bend the knee, bring it in. Really press through that heel and extend the leg as it goes back. Exhaling as the knee comes in. Inhaling as the leg goes back. And then bring that left leg all the way up to the front of the mat. And let your hips release down. Align up that ankle right underneath the knee. And then begin to feel the strength of your core. Witness that strength as you lift your arms. Ground the shoulder blades down the back. So what are you witnessing right now? What are you paying attention to right now? And then exhale, both arms down. And let's pick up the toes. And we'll move from the lunge to the forward bend. Now seeing what's going on in this hip again. Taking your witness stance, your consciousness a little deeper, way inside that hip. Where do you feel the most sensation? And then let's pause in the forward bend. Okay, and then put the foot back down. Let's keep the right hand on the ground or a block. Left hand can start on the left leg, and then we'll turn to the left. And then adjust your arm as you want it. It can stay on the thigh, it can lift, reach for the foot. And then bring that top arm to the inside of the left foot, and let's move it over a little bit, maybe a little turn outward, and just begin again here with the little push-ups, just bending and straightening the elbows like you're going down in chaturanga, so the elbows stay close to the body. And then when you're ready to pause on a block on your forearms, or you can stay on your palms and breathe. And then back up to the palms. Let's tuck under the toes and lift that knee. Take the front foot back. You're in plank pose. You can stay here, knees up or down, moving through vinyasa if you'd like. Child's pose if you'd like. And then returning where we began in this table pose, back to the cat tilt and the dog tilt. And then find the middle ground again, that table. And let's take that right foot back out and lift it up. Bend the knee, bring it back in. We'll just do this 3 times again. And then with that leg extended, you can stay here. If you want to bend that knee, take the foot up towards the ceiling. If you want to take hold of the foot, you can take the left hand back and take hold of the foot. And then release it down. Let's just go back to child's pose for a moment. Just relax your arms, relax your legs. Maybe just a little bit of side to side movement with your hips. Continuing to open up that side body. And then come back up. And let's take the left foot back. Take it up to hip height. 3 times back in, bending the knee, pressing it out, bending the knee, press it out, and then leave the leg out there. You can bend the knee. You could just reach up the right hand and not grab the foot if you want. You could keep the leg extended, or you could reach back for the foot with the right hand. And then release it all. Go back to that child's pose. Let it all go. Witness what's happening now at this point in the practice. How do you feel? And then come back up and let's extend that right leg again. And this time when it comes in, bring it back to the front of the mat. And then let's move from the lunge to the forward bend again. 3 times. We're going to repeat some things today. And then staying here with the forward bend. So you can stay here, you can come up on blocks with your hands, or you can put that foot in a little bit and sit down on that foot. Let's everybody either do that, either sit on the foot or pull that foot to the inside of the leg. So let's everybody do one of those two things. So either sitting back on the foot or making that sort of four shape, the shape of a four with your legs. Okay, and then let's take the left arm up, or you can take a strap around your right foot and hold it with the left hand. Put a nice strong flex in that left foot, and then just go somewhere towards the outside of the leg, the outside of the foot, or if you've got the strap, just bend it, bend the elbow and take your forward bend. So the emphasis is going to be on the hips here. So breathing into the hips, letting your spine find some space so that we can send that energy from the spine to the hips, that open feeling. If you create openness in a place in your body where you can, then the rest of the body will begin to mimic that. I learned that in Feldenkrais, because often they do the exercises just on one side. Then they say, just tell the other side to mimic that, to take on that quality. Okay, and then come on up, and if you're sitting on that foot, bring it so that it's on the inside of the leg. And then we're just going to take a twist towards that left leg. Get nice and tall in that twist. Nice and strong flex continues in that right foot. And then if you want to, you can lift up. You can press the left hand down and lift the hips up. The right arm can go beside the ear or straight up. And then just breathe again into those hips. We're bringing space with the intention to bring space into the hips, to bring softness into the hips. And then come on down. Okay, and then let's take the hands on either side of that leg. Now let's take the leg out to the side a little bit more here so that the other leg is still bent, or you could take both legs out if this knee is giving you some trouble, or you could put a block underneath that leg also if your hip is saying, oh, that's a lot. Okay. And then we're going to turn towards the knee with the heart towards the knee, with just the hands on either side of the leg, and then go forward again. Just a little bit. So with the leg out a little bit further towards the side, we won't be able to go as far forward. And then move that right arm to the inside of the right leg. Take the left hand to the left leg, and then we'll turn again, just like we did when we were going into the twist, but not quite into the twist, just so that the heart is facing forward and actually a little bit more towards the left. And then you can keep your hand there and press on the leg as you take your side bend. You can take the arm out to the side. You could take it beside the ear and ground the shoulder blade down. But just use that right arm to continue to open the heart up and to the left. And then breathe. Really press that left hip down. Remember, even though this is a side extension, we're focusing on the hips. So press that sit bone down on the other side. Okay, and then back up. Let's take one more twist now to the left. And then come on back up to your hands and knees. Cat tilt and dog tilt. And then extend the left leg out. And then exhale and bring it forward. And we'll do 3 more of those lunge to forward bend actions here. And then stay with the forward bend. Sickle that back foot in, either sit back on the foot or you can open the foot out to the side, and you can put a block underneath that other side here if you need to, if this hip is a little wonky. Put a nice flex in that left foot. You can take a strap if you want to. I'll use a strap this time. Put it in your left hand, take the right hand beside you. And then we're just going to move into the forward bend here. If you're using the strap and your breath takes you to a deeper place and you want to let it go, then let it go and take hold of the leg or the foot. But keep turning that heart more towards the left knee. If you need to come up a little bit to find some more space in the back, look for that space. Remember, we're telling the body there's plenty of space. So start in the places where you know that you can make the space, and know that you know where you can extend and breathe into easily. And then let that transfer to the hips. And then come on up and let's take that twist now to the right. Get nice and long in the spine as you pull that right shoulder back so you're broad across the front, long and broad. Matthew Krebs has a video that I used, God, who knows, 10 years ago, called Lengthening and Broadening. Okay, if you want to take the lift, press into your right hand and lift up the hip. You can take that arm straight up or beside the ear. If the left arm's beside the ear, just ground down that shoulder blade. And then sit back down. And now we're going to move that. We're going to make just a little wider stance with our legs. So you can extend that right leg. You can put a block under it if you need to. Taking care of that right hip so that we're a little bit wider now. We're eventually going to open both legs. Okay, and so now we're going to turn. So it's going to take a little bit more of a twist now since we opened that left leg out a little bit further. So turn your heart towards that left knee and put your hands on either side of the leg. You can also put your hands on blocks if you need to. And then let that heart move towards the left knee. And I can feel this in my right knee. If you have your knee bent and you feel this more in your right knee, it may mean that you just need to come up some more and not go quite as deep and find some more space. So serve the joints, always, always. Taking care of and serving whatever those joints are telling you. Give me some more space. What they might be saying, give me some more length. Take a little bit of weight off it by lifting up in the core. Okay, now move that left leg to the left arm to the inside of the left leg. And then first, let's just turn the heart towards the right leg. And then you can begin to, if you're lifting the arm, you can take it out, you can take it up beside the ear, or you can keep the hand on the leg. And then use that left arm now against the left leg, arm pressing against the leg and leg against the arm to turn the heart More to the right and to the ceiling. And breathe. And then turn and go towards now that right leg. One more twist. Okay, now if you have not extended that right leg, extend it out. Get your blocks or whatever you need to support yourself for a forward bend now. We'll go right between the legs. So put a nice strong flex in both legs. And just begin. You can put your hands on the floor, on a block. And just begin again. You want to feel that support in that space with the core being lifted. Sit bones are grounding, core muscles are lifting. So use those opposing forces to find that space. And then begin to move into your forward bend. And since we're really working, we'll do both the yin and the yang with this. So the yang method, the more active masculine method of this forward bend, is to stay with your spine lengthened and perhaps lift up a little bit more. And then you can really feel it more in your hips, where your leg attaches to your hips. And then the yin part, and then in the yang part, your feet are very flexed and legs are very active. And then as you move more into a yin aspect of it, let the feet relax. You're not going to point the toes, but you're just going to relax the feet. And then you can begin to round the back a little bit more. So this is the softening aspect of it. Breathe into that softness, that allowing stance, that witness stance. And then slowly begin to move up. Let's pull the legs in, put the feet down on the ground a little bit wider than your hips. Put your hands beside you and let those knees begin to roll. Might really be feeling it in the hips. That was a lot of opening and extending. So let's take the legs forward. And let's do both the yin and the yang here. We'll start with the yang, with the more active. So flex the feet and make the legs very active. You can take a strap around both feet. You can take your hands beside you. You could take your arms up as long as you ground those shoulder blades down. And this aspect of the yang, we start from the hips. The hips take us forward first, and then the belly. And the spine tries to stay in its natural curve in this position, so that we're opening and we're active and we're lengthening and broadening. And then begin to just relax the feet a little bit more. Let the flex go. It's not a point, but we're just letting the active flex go. And then you can round your back. Breathe here. And sit. I always forget to remind people to sit on a blanket if they need to. I think you probably know that by now, but it always helps to have a little reminder. And then lift it all back up. Bring the feet back with you. Take them back outside of the hips. Take the knees side to side again. And let those knees fall over to one side, doesn't matter which side, and then turn your body towards that side so that you're facing the back of your mat. And you know this, you can stay on the palms, you can come down to the forearms, you could take a full belly down twist if you'd like here. He's trying to scratch a hole in the couch. I don't know if you hear that. And then come on back up. Let's turn back towards the front. Let the knees travel again. Maybe. No. And then let the knees go over to the other side and then turn towards that side and approach the twist from this perspective. Palms, forearms, belly down. And then move it back up, open it back up towards the front, maybe a side to side motion with the knees. And then let's bring the feet together and the knees together and take your hands behind your legs. Begin to lift up from the core, let the heart lift. The feet might lift a little bit from the ground. Maybe the feet keep going up into more of a V for this boat pose. Maybe the arms stay where they are. Maybe they reach out. Take your stance and breathe. Let your heart lift. Let your shoulder blades ground down. Make space with your breath. Okay, take the feet down. Keep the feet together. This time open the knees out. And let's soften in this one. So just roll over the legs. We've been doing a lot of work on these hips, so just soften now. And then lift everything back up. Put your feet down on the ground, move into a place where you can roll down onto your back. And then once you get there, let's open the arms out from the shoulders in a T position and take the feet to the edges of the mat. Just begin here with the knees resting against each other and with your shoulder blades nice and wide and a nice contact with the ground with the shoulder blades. Just take a few breaths here. First time on our backs in this practice, just letting the back orient to the gravitational pull to the ground. And then let your knees open. Now you can take your arms overhead, or you can put a bend in the arms if you want to, cactus arms, and then we'll let the knees travel side to side again. Okay, and then let the knees fall to one side one more time. You can approach it from this perspective. You can take the bottom foot on the outside of the leg. And again, you can approach it from a very dynamic yang perspective, or you can soften into this in a yin perspective. You let your hips tell you what they need, and breathe. What you notice in the silence, in the pause. What are you witnessing, or what are you not witnessing? What's trying to run the show still? What's trying to do instead of be? Okay, both feet down, let the knees travel side to side again until you're ready to pause on the other side. Take your position, dynamic or soft, whatever this hip, this side is calling for. Soften and breathe. Even if you're in the dynamic, you can soften. If you're taking the dynamic stance, you can still soften. Okay, and then let the knees come back up, let them travel again. And bring the knees in now, and just take a pause. Let your arms hold your legs and your legs hold your arms. And breathe. And then let's gently circle the knees around the hips. And then circle the other way. And open those legs out, or the knees out to the side. Hang on to your shins for a minute. And then if you want to take happy baby or dead bug, let your feet go up towards the ceiling. You can take the outsides of the feet. You can take a roll again if you'd like. And then let's let the left foot come down. Let's let the right foot cross over the left thigh. Just start with an easy press on the inner thigh with that right hand. And then if you want to pull up that left leg, you can take it in. You can take your hands behind it. You can circle that knee in the air. I like to do that to kind of see where the wonky spots are. You could pause at any place that you feel a little bit more sensation and breathe. And if you want one step further, take that left foot up, make it a strong flex like you're standing on the ceiling. Keep that right leg opening out. You might even want to just stay here. I like sometimes to just keep my left hand behind my left leg and put the right hand on the right inner thigh and just encourage that right knee to stay open. That's one option you could take, or you could lift it up. You could take your hands around the leg. You could take the first two fingers of the left hand around the left toe. You can reach the arms out. Just see what your body's calling you to do. And then let the left foot come back down. Let the right leg open back out. You can take just the knee out to the side and hold on to the shin. You can take half dead bug again. You could extend the left leg and the left arm up if you want just a little bit more in that right hip. Now slowly, easily put that right foot on top of that left thigh, and then we will take the right knee over to the left in another twist. You can open the left arm out, you can take it overhead, you can soften it in the cactus. Breathe. And then let's start just extending both legs, extend the arms up overhead. You can clasp the hands together and turn the palms away from you. Put a nice flex in both feet. Just get nice and long before we start this other side. Then you can release the hands and you can let the left arm and the left leg reach away from each other, and then the right arm and the right leg, and just kind of going back and forth like that, like you're crawling on your back. And then let's bring the feet down to the ground, and then bring both knees in. And let's start again, just arms holding the legs, legs holding the arms. Breathe here. And then let the knees open out. You can stay here holding onto the shins. If you want one more dead bug, take hold of the feet. And then that right foot's going to come down to the ground and the left ankle's going to cross over. Start easy. Just a nice, simple press on that inner left thigh. Once you get that opening to where you feel like the breath is starting to open that up, you can pull the knee in if you'd like. Keep a nice flex on that left foot. If you want to circle the knee, take it around. Find those places, breathe into them. And then pause with the circles. If you're still moving, take a pause. If you want that foot up, take it up. Left hand can go on the left thigh while the right hand pulls the right leg in. Or you can lift up and take your favorite arm position. Put that right foot down on the ground. If it's not there, open out that left leg. Half dead bug, you can hang on to the foot or the shin. And relax the foot if you're hanging onto the shin. You can open up that side body if you want. The right side can extend. And then extend the right leg if it's not extended. Put the left foot on top of the right leg and then pull that knee over to the side. Okay, one more time. Stretch, go back on your back and stretch everything in either direction. You can either hold the stretch, you can crawl, whatever your body feels like doing. Let's do an inversion. So you can take a block under your hips and take your legs up. You could take your legs up the wall. You could do a half shoulder stand, or if you practice headstand, just something to reverse the flow towards the end of the class now. The moon's a little bit more than half right now. It's moving towards full moon next Thursday. So just so you know that we'll probably have a full moon practice next Friday. But while you're upside down, I'm going to read a little bit more about the witness. So this says the invitation. So it's what this card is inviting you to do. The witness has been by your side all along and is now ready to become your ally. You thought you were the doer, but today you discover that things happen when you get out of the way. Maybe you've discovered that in all these hip openings. Witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. Being with the breath. Letting the breath help you reverse the flow of the blood, bringing it up to the feet, even though they are upside down. Create the space with your breath to receive that nourishment, that blood, that fluid. And then also let it reverse and come down into the glands at the base of the neck, thyroid, thymus, lymph glands in the shoulders, the armpits. And if you haven't come down yet, begin to 1 foot at a time, bring everything back down. If you had a block there, let's remove it. Take it out. Let your hips settle. And what is the last pose that you would like to do before Shavasana? See what your body is telling you. This is what I need. It may be as simple as sacral taps. It may be a down dog. It may be a child's pose. See how you need to go into Shavasana through movement, through stillness, through another twist. And then taking your time, when you are ready, moving into Shavasana. I'm going to light one more candle for us for our Shavasana. To illuminate the witness. And I'll read one last bit about the witness and then let you drift off. So this is the medicine of the card. Acknowledge your preconceptions, ideas, and feelings about any situation you're in, but resist the urge to change any of it. Do not fall back into your controlling patterns. Instead, take a few breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform, not having to do anything. Hold the space for the world to keep spinning on its own. It's a beautiful place to enter Shavasana. Hold the space for the world to keep spinning on its own. So continuing with the idea to hold that space for the earth to spin on its own. Perhaps committing your rest of the day to witnessing that. You be the center, you be the axis, and let everything else just spin around you as you're grounded, as you witness. When your body's ready to move, let your breath help you find that movement. And if you come up to a seat, find those two polarities, balancing above and below. You're still on the axis, but just feeling the north end of it, the south end of it, the east and the west. All right, thank you for being here today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks, Melanie.
You're very welcome. Enjoy today. Yes,
Thank you.
have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow.
Thank you, Melanie. That was great. And
Good, good.
would you send me the recording, please?
I sure will. Anybody, I hope everybody knows that. Even if you came to class, you can get the recording anytime you want.
And
Okay.
we're gone for the next 3 weeks. So I
Oh,
probably,
wow. Enjoy.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll
All
miss
right.
you.
Yeah, thanks. I probably will not dial in just because our internet's not very good. So I'll see
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you on the other side.
All right.
Bye.
Have fun.